Hello there, my name is John. I'm joining you today from sunny, beautiful California. I'm a balloon artist here in Southern California. I'm the owner of Splendor Balloons. I've been twisting balloons for over 10 years. And so today's video is going to go over the 5 must-have techniques as you are starting to learn to twist balloons. I hope you've already watched my video on how to tie a balloon knot that is painless, pain-free, which is super useful. And so now I'm going to teach you the very 5 must-have techniques in order to begin your balloon twisting journey, okay? Here we are. So we have our 260 balloons. I'm assuming that you've already got your balloons at home as well as your pump. Again, you can buy them, for less than, 10 or 15 bucks on Amazon. It's a really great website. But you're going to inflate the balloon for our needs, okay? About maybe halfway. Okay, I'm always going to leave a little bit of a tail for what I'm doing. If I'm twisting or doing anything that requires bending with a balloon, I've got to give myself a nice long tail. So we're going to do a couple things, okay? So the first one that we're going to learn how to do is the very famous loop twist, right? And that is where I'm connecting one balloon, one end, I'm going to use my knot, with another twist. Okay, so I will squeeze my balloon to make it soft. If it's too hard, it's a little bit scary to work with. And I'm going to twist off, maybe a 3 or a 4-inch bubble. When we're balloon twisting, you'll find that a lot of people will sort of measure the length of the balloon either with finger length, or with inches. So for me, I like to use the finger length. I think 4 fingers is about 4 inches on average. My hands might be a little bit bigger than yours. For reference, I wear a size 14.5 ring, so my hands are a little bit bigger. And I will connect these 2 points. So the knot to the knot. A lot of people will make the mistake of connecting the nozzle to the knot, and then it looks really strange and weird. So we don't want to do that. We always want to connect the knot to my twist here. So I'm going to bend those together. And this seems scarier than it is. If you buy good quality balloons from like Having a Party or one of the other reputable companies, you're not going to have any problem or any fear of having to twist these balloons. So I have my little loop there, and I'm going to twist those together. Now the hardest part is that now that I have my nozzle and my knot right here, you see the knot? I have to tuck that under into that loop, and you can see how my finger is coming through the loop. Okay, I will just pull that through, and congratulations, you just did a loop twist. We're going to do it again. I'm going to squeeze. Now the great thing is that's if we're doing on the end. If we're going to do a loop right here, we can just bend it over, make a letter C, and we make a loop. These are great to make dogs and flowers and all sorts of things. If I do a loop there, and I squeeze, and I do a loop there, right? This might look like a bamboo or maybe a mohawk, all kinds of different things, right? But that's our loop twist. It's a very important technique to know how to use. So we've got our loop twist. Let's move on. The next technique that you should know how to do is an ear twist, or sometimes we'll call a pinch twist. Okay, so I blow up my balloon, again about halfway, I burp it to give it some softness. It's tied, okay? We're right here. Now when we're starting on our end, the difference between a loop twist and a pinch twist is that a pinch twist or an ear twist, sometimes people call them ear twists because they look like a little bit ear, or a pinch twist because you're really giving it a little pinch, is that it's the size. A loop twist is going to use a larger length, where a pinch twist is going to be more smaller. Again, when we're doing a pinch twist on the end, we want to keep in mind that I've got to twist into this knot, not the nozzle onto the knot. So I will grab my knot, I will turn it sideways. Oops. Okay. I will grab my knot, turn it sideways, pull and twist. And so now you can see this kind of resembles the shape of an ear, right? So if you've got a character, this is a really great technique. These are really good for like adding a 90-degree into a balloon. So let's say you're making a box. I'll make, here's a simple 4 or 5 bubble twist. I will add a 1-inch bubble. It's about the size of my thumb, okay? I will turn that over, and I will pinch and twist it. So, the pinch, twist. Hence, pinch, twist. But again, it looks very much like an ear, right? So, ear twist, pinch, twist, it's the same thing. Now, you can see I've got this 90-degree angle. These are really good for making houses or all sorts of different shapes. That's a really, really must-have technique when we are making balloon animals. Having the pinch twist is super, super important. Okay, let's move on to the next technique. All right, the next technique is simply twisting bubbles and being able to hold that shape. So what we're going to do is we're going to twist several bubbles. I'm going to inflate this about halfway. I tie it off, and I'm going to twist the same direction. Now for me, I like to twist away, so I'm pushing the balloon. So I will hold this right here, and I'm pushing the balloon away. Okay. Now that I have my first bubble, I can hold that right here in my palm with my pinky, like this. I give it a little hug, and that will hold. Okay. I'm going to use my other first and thumb finger to twist another balloon, and I can let this go. See that? And it will stay. Now I will use the same one. As long as I hold my pinky against my palm and I'm pinching that one, I'm going to be A-okay and fine. So I'm just going to slowly work my way down, and I'm making these bubbles. See how they all hold together? As long as I'm holding the end there with my pinky, I'm going to be A-okay. Now maybe I'm all done, these are bubbles, or I'm doing a fish or something. I can connect these two wherever I want. And there we go. Now that I've twisted into, the tension is going to hold it. So that's a really, really, really great thing about making, you know, strings of bubbles, just like that. It's a must-have technique. If I start twisting and I'm making a new string of bubble, right? And see how I'm holding the balloon with my pinky here, pinky in my palm. If I let go, it will all come undone. Okay, so when you're making the balloons, make sure you twist, twist, twist. This is a really, really good thing to practice. See how I'm slowly making my bubbles bigger? Let's say I want to make them smaller. I'll squeeze and make it smaller. Now I got a smaller bubble. Now let's see if we can go even smaller than that. There's an even smaller. Let's see if we can go even smaller than that. Okay, here we are. So you can see now we've got our bigger, even bigger, smaller, smaller, smaller. As long as I hold those two, they will not come undone. And I can twist that together. And there we go. That's technique number 3, twisting and holding the bubbles. All right, let's move on. Okay. The next technique that we're going to teach you guys how to do is called a shock twist. So when we're doing our shock twist, we want to make sure that we squeeze the air up to force the balloon, give ourselves, you know, a nice big kind of soft but gentle firmness, right? Soft but gentle. I know it's kind of oxymoron or opposite of each other. Now let's say I'm making a heart, or I want to have a shape or a little kink in the balloon. I will bend the balloon like this, and I will pinch the end, which pushes the air out, and I'll twist it and I pull it. Now when I push air back into that bit, okay, and I let it go, it will have a kink in it. See that? So maybe I'm making a lightning bolt. A kid goes, oh, I want a lightning bolt, right? So I want this to come back this way now, so I will bend it the direction I want it to kink, and I will pinch the end, I'll twist it, and I'll let it go. And then I use the tail to push the air back into it. Boom. Now, I've got kind of this lightning bolt shape. That's a really, really great technique to have when you're balloon twisting. So that is called a shock twist. Really, really great technique to have. Okay, let's move on. Okay, the last technique that you're going to need to know as a beginning balloon artist is the famous tulip twist. It's a more difficult technique to do, But with a little bit of practice, you can make a tulip twist very, very quickly, and it's a fun technique to use. So we have our balloon. All right, mine is going to be inflated again about halfway. I've got a nice long dangly tail. I will again squeeze the balloon, drive the air up towards the tail. Okay, give it a stretch, and we're going to push the knot. A lot of people think it's just this nozzle here. We're going to push the knot into the balloon. So I'm going to put the knot and the nozzle right there. I'm going to push it into the balloon just like this. Now because the balloon is soft, I can squeeze through the balloon. See that? See, I can squeeze through the balloon. Okay. I'm going to squeeze through the balloon and I'm going to grab the knot from the inside. Now I can pull my finger out. I find I like to use my thumb and my first finger to push as I pull. Just like that. And I'm going to twist the balloon. Okay. Now, the knot is not in this chamber. It's in this chamber. But I've got to push the knot back into the direction to add a little bit more tension. So, I'm going to push the knot up with my thumb. Okay. And it will force the tulip just to sort of twist into itself, right? So that's essentially our tulip twist. Okay, we'll do it again. I'll break off this piece. We're gonna tie a knot. Now we have our knot, and this would be our nozzle. We're gonna push the knot into the balloon, and I'm gonna squeeze to find the knot on the inside. Okay, I use my thumb and my middle finger to pull my finger out. I'm gonna twist it. I don't know if you can see this, but see the knot? That's the balloon knot right there. So I twist, not on this side of the balloon. I let it go, I'm sorry. There's my balloon knot right there. You can see that little bump. Okay. So I'm going to pinch and I twist. Just like that. Now I've got to push the knot back into my balloon. Just like that. And now we've got a nice fun little tulip twist. Now these are the 5 techniques you absolutely must know how to use, and you don't necessarily have to master them at first, but you must know these techniques in order to basically know everything that I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make. So we're going to start with loop twists and pinch twist and bubbles, but hopefully you can learn these 5 must-have techniques as well as tying the balloon to begin your balloon twisting adventure. Thank you so much. I hope you found this video useful, and we will see you again very, very soon. Thank you. Bye.